All right. So I'm very excited to be able to get on here and have a conversation with anyone who wants to listen because, like there's so much information out there. There's so many people talking. There's so many voices that people get to really be selective with who they want to listen to. If they believe that this person has something to say, Nate, what up, man? What's good? If they believe that this person has anything of value to say, or if they want to move on to the next person and hear from someone else. So the reason that I want to jump on here and have this conversation with you is because, family, all good, is because I believe that everyone's missing something. We are all missing something that is blatantly right in front of our face. It's so easy to overlook it. And what's easy to overlook is how similar we all are, how different that we aren't. See, I believe that if you really get down to it, if you really pay close attention to it, we're so much the same than we are different, but we're just overlooking the obvious thing. The reason I say that is because, there's so many different beliefs about or what we believe that we all are based on what we've heard our entire lives. Because people have told us, or we have our influencers, or maybe, some of the things we don't even know we heard it from. But think about this for a second. Just for 1 second. I want you to think about, we believe that maybe someone else is a specific way or a certain way based on their culture, based on their language, based on what they physically look like, meaning their ethnicity, or based on, their demographic, based on where they may have came from or where they may have lived, or what their family's religion is, what type of music they may listen to. All those things they're not real, and I'll explain to you for a second. Stick with me because I want you to understand this. See, the reason I say that is because, you might meet someone that looks nothing like you, right? But that person might have the same style as you. Meaning, you might see someone that looks nothing like you, but they might like Jordans. They might have some nice shoes on. Looks nothing like you, doesn't speak the same language as you. But, what's up, Adari? What's up, brother? They might look nothing like you. They might not speak the same language as you. But when you look down at their shoes, for men, if they might have a nice pair of Jordans or nice pair of Gucci shoes, dress shoes, whatever, you're like, man, those are fly. Where'd you get those from, man? You don't care where that person's from. You don't care what language that person speaks. You don't care what type of food they eat. Adi, hello. You don't care about any of those things at all, right? You don't care about any of those things. You're like, yo, where did you pick those up for fellas? If someone has a good meal in front of them or you see it on social media, you're not thinking about their language, their ethnicity, their religion, what their skin color is, what their parents believe is, what part of the world they're from. You're not thinking any of those things. You're like, what kind of food is that? Where'd you get it from? What is it? They might be playing a good song. You're like, yo, that song's hard. That song goes, right? All you're thinking is, where is that from? And so all that stuff is completely from somewhere else, but you see value in it, not because of all the other intangibles, but because you enjoy it. For ladies, if you see another lady with some nice shoes, oh man, right? You see a lady with some nice shoes, you're not thinking, where is she from? What language does she speak? What ethnicity is she? What culture? What's her religion? Where's her family from? You're not thinking any of those things. You're thinking, she got some bad shoes. She's about to walk in here and shut it down, and I want those shoes because I want to shut it down. Same with fellas. If you see somebody with a nice suit, you're like, ooh, who's your tailor? They got a nice jacket. Sports fans, especially guys, right? You see somebody roll up with something that's fitted or whatever, nice gloves, a beanie, a jacket. You're like, oh, I got to get that. If you see a girl walk in with a nice dress, around, if you were getting married or something, you see who's your designer? Where'd you get that from? All the other things that they're telling us are a big deal are not even a question. We're not even thinking about any of those things. All we're thinking of is, where did you get that? Right? But the media, the powers that be, would have us believe that this is the thing that makes us so different, when actually that is the thing that makes us the least different. That is the thing that is so far from the truth. It's the furthest from the truth, meaning it's the biggest lie of everything. The stereotypes. Oh, these people do this or those people do that. Well, guess what? Somewhere else, someone who doesn't look anything like you likes the exact same food that you likes the exact same music that you like. But why do we let it separate us? You get mad. What are they? We're sharing it. Someone along the line in their family or in their life, someone shared something from a different culture with them, and now they've been enriched. Now they've been able to cross over that line, that barrier that they're saying separates all of us, and now they've been influenced by that, and they can share it as well. That's the thing that makes us so similar. Listen, I've traveled around the world, and when I go to different countries, the craziest thing, families either love each other or they hate each other. They either eat dinner together or they don't. They either sing and dance together or they don't. They either want, get along with each other, they don't. Some families sit down together and have food together. That is something that's universal. It ain't just something that's in a different country or people are saying, well, we do this. Go to the other side of the world. They do the exact same thing. Some of the families, they might think that, okay, well, the children should eat first, or the husband should, or the wife, or the women should do this, or the men should do this. And some are like, no, it don't work like that here. That's universal. People want their kids to go to the best schools in some countries. Some countries and cultures and religion or whatever, some people want their children to eat the best food, to speak properly. Some parents are, depending on the countries, are okay with their kids being a certain way, or some are not. Some people say, oh, well, the way we grew up, our parents didn't play that. That's one of the funniest things I hear. Oh man, Latin parents don't do this, or black parents don't do that, or my parents are from this place or that. Listen, it's all the same. Some parents don't play that. It don't matter what nationality is, they just don't play that. And I want you to understand that all those things that are people are saying that separate us, that make us different, are the things that make us so similar. All of it, right? So check this out. So I grew up in a military family. So my dad was an officer in the Navy. So I grew up around all military kids, and growing up around so I'm a military brat. Growing up around all military kids, everyone's different ethnicity, different language, different culture. You go to this friend's house, is this type of food. You go to that friend's house, is that type of food, that type of music, that type of clothes, all those different things. And so with that being said, that was just the norm for me. I was automatically exposed to all these different cultures, to all these different conversations. And guess what? When I would go to this friend's house, they like cartoons just like we did when I was growing up. They like going out playing outside just like we did. They like playing sports just like we did. Sports, for example. If anybody grew up playing sports, when you got on the field or the court or whatever it was to play that sport, all the different nationalities that were there that you were playing with, that were possibly your teammates, you all had that in common, right? So that means that isn't that different, right? Classes that you took in school, some people excelled in maybe math or language or science or whatever. If you go in there, the thing that doesn't separate us is the thing that we're doing. And is it fair to say that there's so many different ethnicities, so many different backgrounds that are enjoying whatever it is? That's the thing that doesn't separate us. So if we have all these different things in common, we have some music. Think about the craziness. Isn't it so funny when someone from a different culture, or different nationality, different ethnicity, different language is listening to music from a different culture, enjoying it completely, dancing, knowing the music, knowing all that. That person from the different culture is like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Look at this person. They know our music. They know our language. They know. Why? Because you don't know where that person's from. You don't know what they were exposed to. And that's why when people go across you travel to a different country and you see someone that looks nothing like you, that speaks a different language, you're just blown away like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. No, it's not. It's not crazy. So why is everyone letting it be a divider? Why are people letting it be the division versus allowing us to come together and be closer? Because listen, everyone from different cultures, different ethnicity, different backgrounds, we've brought so much value to each other. We've brought so much food, so much music. We've poured so much from the beginning of time. We've poured so much into each other. There's so much similar for each other. Look at what the younger generations are doing. They all love music. They all love the dance. They're not thinking about, they're not thinking about the things that the generations before us and even some of the things that we might believe, because those things are becoming more and more watered down. Because those things no one's really, listen, there are so much more of us that are united, that think the same way, that love each other, that enjoy what each other bring to the table, that are grateful to have so many different similarities. So many people are so grateful for that. And it brings so much of us together that we're the majority. And the people that are closed-minded, that are closed off, that are thinking, oh, well, you got to stay over here and you got to stay over there and this is ours and this is theirs. No, listen. Humanity as a whole, it belongs to all of us. All of us. We all get to share everything. We all get to grow, expand, and increase together. And that's one of the most amazing things that there is. One of the most beautiful, magnificent things that there is, that we can all think about for business. Man, I'm so grateful for the different backgrounds, the different cultures that I get to learn from, that get to learn from me, that I get to pour into, that get to pour into me. Because the whatever currency, it's the same. If I go to a different country and I get paid in that currency, it's the same for anyone who doesn't look like me or here. It's all the same. I want you guys to know that. We're so much of the same that it's such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. And we need to take advantage of it. We need to learn as much as we can from each other. We need to be as open-minded as we can from each other. Think about this. Imagine this is the opportunity to learn from different culture, different language, different ethnicity, different religion. What if everything's so confused? That means it's so closed off. Don't be closed off, because if you're closed off, how much are you going to miss out on? Versus if you open up. If you open up, oh my gosh. There is so much richness, so much value, so many things, so many gifts. So much that we can gain from each other, so much that we can learn from each other, so much culture, so many different songs, different languages, so much that we can learn from each other, that if we take the time to see what's out there, to learn from each other versus being closed off, we only have value. We can give so much more to future generations. Think about if we did that versus what they're trying to get us to do. When I say they, I mean like the powers that be, the media. They keep pouring, oh, we're so different. No, we're not. And I hope everybody understands this. To every single one of you, I have so many friends on here, so many people that I interact with, so many people. Listen, so that's my time. But what I want you to do is share this on your Instagram story, share this on your, somehow if you can grab it and share it on your page or on your IG, share it with somebody else. And the reason I want you to share it is because, if we could just all get on one accord, if we could just get value from each other, if we could pour into each other and realize if we can be open-minded enough and know that, we're so much more together, there's so much value to be gained, and you didn't have to give this message to somebody else. You could just pass it to somebody else. You could share it to someone else. You could watch this as many times as you want to and then repeat this in your own words so people can get the value. But if we could just pass the word on, this is the definition of paying it forward. And we get so much from paying it forward. There's so much value from paying it forward. There's so much more just by giving to someone else. There's an selfishness about it. See, because we get something from giving for our own personal reasons. And I have so much of a reason to give this versus keeping it inside and thinking about it and wondering if I can put it out there instead of waiting for the right time, or because things happen and we can choose to do what we want with our time, because time is not ours. Time is no one's to control. It is uncertain, but time is ours to make. So if people tell you don't have time, they're not being honest. All right. So that's my time. I'm done. Thank you so much for joining, paying attention, listening in. For every single one of you, I wanted to acknowledge you and say your name and all those things, but I really had to get this, off my chest. I really had to get this out there. So thank every single one of you for jumping on, listening, pay attention, share it. You can go on my Facebook page, it's on there, figure out how you can share it or whatever, but we got to get this word out there, because together we are more than we are divided. So thank you so much. Miss you all. I can't wait to jump back on here. Over a million served. The bakery. I'm out.